The battle of industrial developments over recreational property was front and center at City Hall this year. The fight for Kelowna Springs Golf Course, our top political story of 2023. Of all the issues plaguing Kelowna in 2023, housing affordability, crime, sweeping changes to the short-term rental bylaws, no one issue drew the ire of local residents like the fight to save a beloved golf course. In fact, veteran councillor Luke Stack said he received more correspondence on that issue than any other during his years on council. The story began unfolding prior to last year's adoption of the 2040 official community plan, when former owners of the golf course asked that the future land use be changed to industrial because they didn't plan to run the golf course anymore. With the future designation changed and the OCP adopted, the property was sold to Vancouver developer Density Group for north of $30 million. The plan was to develop the 106-acre property into industrial. Planning staff argue the city is woefully short of industrial land. It needs to increase its stock in order to retain and attract workers to the city. Outraged members of the community countered, pointing to a decline in green space and a need for recreational land for residents to enjoy. An attempt by Stack to reopen the discussion and reverse the decision was voted down by council in 2022, but with a new council in place came a new perspective, and a second attempt by Stack to revisit the decision passed, paving the way for a raucous public hearing. Golfers and residents packed council chambers demanding the property be reverted to private recreational use. After a 4.5-hour public hearing, council voted to revert the future land use back to private recreational. But the vote came with a warning from Mayor Tom Dias. It does not mean by any means that this is the way this is going to stay for the rest of time. We don't know what's going to happen, said Dias. Somebody else owns this land, and it will be up to them to make decisions. Density CEO Gary Fowley says the golf course will remain open for one final year in 2024 and hopes to provide plans for a hybrid golf course and industrial development that would likely include retaining the back nine of Kelowna Springs. Fowley told Castanet recently the company continues to do its homework on the property carefully and thoughtfully, reaching out to those who opposed redevelopment to better understand their position. He hopes to be able to come back to the city with a proposal sometime later in 2024. For Castanet's Year in Review at Kelowna Springs Golf Course, I'm Wayne Moore.